Let's get more on this now with Libya analyst Dr Ahmed Sewehli, who joins us from Manchester in the UK. Good to have you with us, Doctor. Libya, as we know, has been embroiled in a decade-long spiral of violence ever since the downfall of Muammar Gaddafi. How hopeful are you that these latest talks in Berlin will actually lead to a lasting peace in the country?
Yeah, thank you. I would disagree with you on that. There's been violence since the downfall of Gaddafi. In fact, there was elections and there was an elected parliament. There was a government. But Khalifa Haftar in 2014 declared his coup, and since then he's been trying to implement this coup over the past 7 years and has failed. Now, of course, it all came to a head in 2019 when he decided to attack Tripoli. He attacked Tripoli. I think a lot of countries were shocked. However, they all stood by and watched on whilst he bombed Tripoli with immense support from the United Arab Emirates, Egypt, Russian mercenaries, the Wagner Group, and France. So we come to Berlin Conference 1, which was in January last year, and I was actually there in Berlin. The Russian president was there, the Pompeo was there, Boris Johnson attended. And the problem was that the Germans, in fact, invited Khalifa Haftar, the main violent person in Libya who has been causing all these wars, invited him to Berlin and hosted him as if he was some kind of president, and asked him to stop fighting. Of course, he did not do that. He continued to bomb Tripoli, and Berlin won and did not help Libyans at all. What did help Libyans was the Turkish agreement with the Libyan government to come and stop Haftar, the United Arab Emirates and Egypt from bombing Libya any further. And Turkey, along with the Libyan government forces, succeeded in doing so. They pushed Haftar back. He was kicked out of Tripoli and he went to Benghazi, a sore loser, basically. We didn't hear much of him. And then the European Union, the United Nations decided that, yes, they wanted peace after Haftar was defeated. We come to Berlin too. I wasn't too bothered about Berlin today. My eyes were more on the football in Munich. I wasn't expecting anything from Berlin today. All we've heard, and I've read the 58 conclusions, is much of the same of what we've been hearing over the past 18 months from the international so-called community. Let's not forget that those who attended Berlin today, there were 14 countries, all of whom, namely UAE, Egypt, France, and the UAE, France, Egypt, and Russia. They were very much part of the attack on Tripoli. I don't think they're there to help the Libyan people. Now, looking at the conclusions, one of the conclusions is that all foreign forces should leave Libya. I find it quite surprising that this massive official meeting cannot even name which countries have forces in Libya. I mean, you've said that the foreign minister is speaking to Turkey. Why is she not speaking to the United Arab Emirates, which has an air base in eastern Libya? Why is she not speaking to Russia about the Russian Wagner mercenaries who actually occupy a large part of the middle of Libya, and the oil basins around there? It's quite strange. So I'm not expecting much. These countries all have their own interests. I don't believe that any of these countries are caring about Libya. In terms of the Turkish presence, I think they're the only guarantee that Tripoli will not be attacked again. Now, if the European Union and the United States would like to come up with a plan to stop any further attack on Tripoli and Libya, then I think that's something that Libyans would love. But I'm looking at I've read the conclusions. There's nothing there to show that there's actually any serious plans to stop further war.
Okay.
So the presence of Turkey, I think, is crucial. One more point I'd like to say about the humanitarian issues.
I'm sorry, Doctor. We will have to leave it there. We're out of time. But thank you so much again for joining us on TRT World.